Half a century has now passed since President Kennedy challenged our nation to do what most thought to be impossible, land a man on the moon. Yet just over 8 years later, Neil Armstrong made that giant step for mankind, thanks in great part to the work of several Oklahomans. Joining me now is our Andy Barth.
Well, Rob, per capita, Oklahoma has more former astronauts than any other state, and many were in attendance at an event to honor the 50th anniversary of the race into space.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
It was a challenge that changed a nation.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
And on its 50-year anniversary, Oklahomans involved in the space program gathered to mark a half-century of progress.
I still profess that General Stafford really landed on the moon. He just didn't tell anybody, particularly Donald Trump.
Hello, Houston. We've got a beautiful view of the Earth here, but it's absolutely fantastic.
And it was space pioneers like Thomas Stafford honored at the Oklahoma History Center.
And there's always lots of publicity about astronauts, but to me there's never been enough about the people that really made it happen.
Straight out, Joe. It's a fantastic sight.
Director of the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission, Vic Bird.
The industry that has been a shining star for us since we won the space race, we won the Cold War, we landed a man on the moon and brought him back safely, is aerospace.
Let me know when you...
And one of the men who floated outside our atmosphere is former astronaut John Herrington.
I'm standing around people that you really admire, that have done an incredible amount, both as astronauts as well as the people that support flying in space, flight controllers, engineers. I'm very honored to be with a bunch of folks that have contributed so much from the state of Oklahoma to the space program. So I'm very honored to be here.
And for every person put into space, thousands more worked on the ground, like NASA project manager Carole McLemore.
I always thought the space race with Apollo and the Soviets was really cool. I remember in grade school sitting there watching Apollo 13 and some of the other Apollo missions, and I just thought it was so cool. But actually, when I went to college, I graduated with a biomedical engineering degree, and I did not realize you could work for NASA with any engineering degree. I thought you had to have an aeronautical degree. So when NASA came to Louisiana Tech, where I graduated from, I was so excited, and so I applied at NASA, and I got accepted, and I just thought that was the coolest job in the whole world, and it's really been great.
A mission that those gathered here hope a new generation will take on.
We've got to produce the workforce, and we've got to get young people interested in aerospace and aviation again, because we are the leaders of the world. We lead in this industry.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
Well, the response to Kennedy's bold challenge a half-century ago led to America's unchallenged leadership in space. Yet today, a new challenge has emerged to our country's future space exploration: how to pay for it. In a time of soaring national debt, NASA's funding is in question.
Now, I certainly understand trying to control federal spending, but there is the argument to be made that much of the research into NASA has brought us a lot of things that we use every day.
That's right, Rob. Just in our homes alone, everything from battery chargers for cordless tools to everyday smoke detectors can trace their origins back to NASA.
All right. Thank you so much, Andy.